Hello all! Today I'm going to unbox, take a quick look at Battle of Brandywine. This is from the Battles of the American Revolution. This is designed by Bill Molyneaux and looks like it's published by Fast Play War Games. Now, before I get in this box or start talking about this game specifically, like to talk a little bit about Bill Molyneaux because I have been following him and his games for some time, and a big fan of a lot of his work. As you can see here, I started with Bloody Mohawk and Savage Wilderness, which were published by Lock and Load Publishing. Good quality production, typical of Lock and Load. The games are, this is on the French Indian War, and are my favorite thing about these games is that they're very accessible. They're small maps, low counter density, simple rules that get you right into the action. I mean, you could pick these games up and start playing a scenario in 10, 15 minutes. And the scenario themselves might only take 15, 20 minutes. So they don't outstay their welcome. Plus, there's a ton of scenarios in here. So these were really good games. This was my first introduction into Bill's designs. Now, he eventually came up with, reissued these in a different kind of format here. In this format, and I've got links to these down below in the description if you want to find out a little bit about it. But again, a ton of it's really the same games that are in here, but a little bit different quality. Again, ton of scenarios, but these are available now. The ones from Lock and Load are no longer available. He's also used Blue Panther, which is a third-party sourcing company, to source some of his games, and this is the Struggle for New France. So this is more of a strategic game of the French Indian War, which Bill is that's kind of his sweet spot. He was a reenactor, battle reenactor for some of the battles for the French Indian War. He goes around to a lot of battle sites. And in fact, that's where he tries to get his games placed now. Is he's designing these games to be to be played, of course, because that's what we do with games. But he's really kind of designing them as to be sold at battle sites and to be used as an educational tool. So there's some context there about Bill. This is the Kickstarter edition of Battle of Brandywine. Now we're in the American Revolution. We're not in the French Indian War anymore. This is going to include Valley Forge map and scenario, a Paoli map and scenario, and a Germantown map and scenario. So I mean, you're getting Brandywine and 3 other scenarios in here. So what is not to like about that? This is in that same design that he has currently started adopting, which is have a slip cover and a box. Let's look at the back here. Game includes 11 by 17 map, 55 5/8 inch counter, game counters, rule book, reference chart, and 2 D6. I can hear them rattling around in here. The Battle of Brandywine is a low complexity game using similar rules to Fast Play War Games' Popular War of 1812 box sets, while roughly 3 times the size of the individual box set battle setup is still very quick, and play can be completed in under an hour. While designed as a wonderful teaching tool for young gamers, there's enough options to have a lot of replay value here. And that's something I want to say about his other designs, the ones that were Lock and Load and the ones he published himself. There's game there. You might don't let the small maps or the low counter density fool you. There's a good game there, and the fact that they don't outstay their welcome, that you can play it. I mean, it's one of those ones that you can play it against somebody, then switch sides, play it again, and maybe play a best 2 out of 3. They play that quick, but they also give you some experience and exposure to the kind of combat and what that situation what that situation could teach us or tell us about that period of time and the conflict. Anyway, Players take turns moving their forces and attacking enemy units in order to achieve their specific objectives for battle. One important difference to typical war games is that the moving player is subject to defensive fire from the opponent before attacking. Oh, there we go. So we're getting some opportunity fire. We're getting into some squad leader here, folks. All right. So squad leader in the American Revolutionary War. So let's get inside this box here. I want to thank Bill for sending this to me. He did send this to me. So I'd be remiss if I did not thank Bill for this, because I do like his designs, and I do like the simplicity of his games. And when I say simplicity, that is not a derogatory term. That is a term of respect, because I do like accessible games that are easy to get into and play. Got a white box here. Put that off to the side here. So we got some dice, nice good dice there. Get some good dice. Here are those, oh, these are really small. Talk about small scenarios. So there's a Paoli, Germantown, and Valley Forge. This feels like almost like a postcard game, right? Look at that. These are the postcards. That's cool. So the maps are in here. That's cool. I don't know what I do with that. Maybe that's that's setup. So that tells you your setup. So there's your setup. I wonder if there's a setup for Brandywine. That's cool. Here are the counters, and they're in a Ziploc because they probably come out pretty easily. Look at that. Wow. Those are nice looking counters. Got your militia. You've got the Revolutionary Forces. You've got the British. You've got a turn track. They are double-sided. You know, not super thickness, but not bad. Not bad. Then we've got, let's see what we got in here. Whoa, look at this. Whoa, these maps. Got some color. Put on your sunglasses, because these are a lot of color here. So listen, here's Valley Forge. That's cool. You know, it's not mounted, but I mean, it's good thickness. It's thicker than paper, right? I mean, it's not like what you expect in what you see in most games that have paper maps. It's a little bit thicker, so I like the quality there. There's Valley Forge. Paoli, look at that. Very vibrant colors there. There is Germantown. Then you've got, here's the scenario rules for Valley Forge. All very nice thick paper or poster board. Here's the scenario rules for Germantown, and your scenario rules for Paoli. So, I mean, we're not even to Brandywine yet, and you've already got 3 games right there. 3 different scenarios. Here's a terrain summary. You got your color of the terrain, you've got the name of it, you've got what it does to movement, what it does to combat, and how it affects retreat. Here's your turn track, and here's your counter types. You've got a little bit of an explanation of the counter types there. Again, that's one's single-sided because it'll be off to the side of the board. And here is Brandywine Historical. So this is your rules right here. And we're looking like, there's no pages, but there's not a lot of rules here. So here's your historical introduction, your game components, key concepts, your counters, scales, stacking, sequence of play, standard setup, it's cool. Movement, combat. I mean, you know, you're not looking at, if you're a war gamer, there's nothing new under the sun here, right? But you got movement, you got combat. I mean, this is relatively simple. Winning the game. There you go. Optional rules here. You can spice it up a little bit, and you got some designer notes here. Then here is here's the setup map. So you do have a setup map for Brandywine. I might have to go up Periscope a little bit here. Wow, look at that. Look at the vibrant colors there. So here's your setup with the British right along the Americans' flank. They're not Americans yet. Militia, and then you've got another outcropping over here up in the north here. Interesting. This is the Birmingham Meeting House right there. Okay. And then you have the map itself. So that's kind of interesting there. I mean, you can almost, the setup is the same as the map. I mean, I can just play here, put my counters out, start moving around, and see where they end up. That's kind of cool. That the setup sheet is as good as the map there. So there you have it. This is what you get in a box of Brandywine. Again, if you're looking for a number crunching combat results table, you know. Uh, command structure with range of command and trying to get orders to the troops and all that kind of level of detail, then this probably isn't your game, right? Because this is meant to be more of a simple introduction to the battle, to these battles, because there's 4 in here. Those are really cool little setup cards. I've been covering postcard games this week on my Coffee with Kilroy, so this just kind of feels like a postcard game. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, then if that's what you're looking for, then maybe if you're looking for the heavier sim, this is not it. If you're looking for something that you can get to the table, you can play, you get a good understanding of the conflict and some of the key elements to it, then this is your game. And again, he's designing these to be to be accessible to non-gamers in some respects. He's trying to put these at different battlefield sites, mainly on the East Coast, or the east of where I'm at least. Everything's east where I'm at. I'm in the middle of the country. Anyway, so with that purpose and mission in mind, I think he's off to a good start and trying to accomplish it. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Love to know your thoughts on this game or on any of Bill's designs. If you played them, what do you think about them? I think they fit. They serve a really nice purpose in our hobby. They're not the heavy sim, but there's something you can get to the table quick and get a good understanding of what's going on without a lot of effort. So I like that. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate it when you stop by. And the best way I know that you stop by is drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about anything that's on your mind. Keep it civil, but especially this game if you played it, or any of other Bill's designs. Or this period. There's not a ton of war games on the American Revolutionary War. There's more now than there has been, right? But especially GMT has a whole series that's a very good series. I've covered that, and that's a little bit crunchier. It's not super complex, but it's definitely more complex than this. And I might do a side-by-side at some point of that game and how that plays out, and this game and how this plays out, and just see what the comparisons are. But this is a topic that is very important to the development and progression of the United States. And this, the Revolutionary War was a key part that a lot of people don't follow or understand the history. And that's what I use these games for. This to me is a starting point or launch pad to get into the topic more. Read about the Battle of Brandywine. What did that mean in the whole context of those campaigns and of the American Revolutionary War? And then play the game and see how that plays out. Then go back and read some more and see, well, how did the game do in simulating that experience, or what did I learn from that experience? But anyway, that's me. Your mileage may vary. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me. I know you've got a lot of choices, so thank you. Take care. Thanks for watching.